Good day to you. I want you to practice this simple truth of remembering little joys, investing it in your joy bank. So keep your joy rating in credit. Don't go to red. This easily is done by sharing a joy and receiving a joy, sharing a smile and receiving a smile. So the principle is that you decide and practice being an easy to please person rather than easy to be displeased person, so that you keep your serotonin high, your oxytocin communicating, and your GABA high, so that your empathy, your communication ability, your sense of bonhomie, and your own sense of being rewarded for simple things would be high. So your pleased threshold will be low. It will not be too difficult to please you. This is called having your boundary lines in pleasant places. And your good shepherd will help you in this to get this sense of my cup overflows. My table is well furnished because the good shepherd will look into this. There is also this I want to share with you, get into you, that you are never poor with God. You can have a redefinition of wealth and worth, that you can always help someone poorer than you, care acts, being kind, a hospital visit, and so on. So you are one who has enough to invest. Therefore you are investing in heaven a prayer, a kindness, a care act, a telephone call, a sick visit, a sick person, lift up someone who is down in the doldrums. So you are saying, I am rich in what I can give. You have heard it before. It is more blessed to give than to receive. So you have counted yourself as being enriched with the riches of Christ. The Good Shepherd taking you down green pastures to abundant waters. That your lifestyle is that you are planted to bring forth good fruit in every season. You will not have your leaves withering, relationships withering off. You are rich in relationships. You are rich in having trustable friendships. See the amount of riches you can count, which cannot be counted with euro, US dollars or British pound, or for that matter our own rupees in Sri Lanka. I want you to get into a mindset of being rich, being treated well. Otherwise you practice poverty, a spirit of poverty. And then however much you have, you cannot be pleased. This is what the psalmist says. A man who loves riches cannot be pleased with riches because he will want more to be pleased. When he has reached this satiety, then he pitches it higher and he wants more. So this is a little talk to get you into to the mode of being rich because heaven has so much for me. And then you practice this principle. I will store up treasures in heaven where the moth cannot eat, the rust cannot corrupt, and the thieves cannot tunnel and thieve from me, rob from me. So these are riches that environmental factors cannot corrupt. And these are riches that moth in different places cannot eat up. And these are riches no one can steal from you. Would you like a lifestyle change like this? And then you will have no competition from people and you will not be jealous because you think of yourself as very enriched, always having something to invest. Therefore, you have regular dividends of good relationships, smiles, thank yous, gratitudes. So it's a redefinition of being rich in heaven. Let's look at David the shepherd boy, who would have looked so poor, and his mother being a war widow, and the big shot Jesse having his 8th son from this war widow, and nobody thought much about him, but God thought much about him. And God gave him that handsome, ruddy look that he cannot be ignored because he had no other riches, nothing going in his favor but his good looks. And he himself wanted to do something with excellence. He did that with the slingshot, got aim accurately, And with an 8-chord harp he made himself, he got the best music he was capable of. And Psalm 78 verse 72 says that God saw this boy with integrity of heart, with skillfulness of hands, doing what? Just looking after Mother Eve, pregnant sheep mothers well. He was so careful with them, taking them through narrow spaces, narrow places on those plateaus where the grass was, and taking them to the best part of the grass, best part of the water. And with the little skill he had, the limited skill he had, he was rich in the thing he did because he did it well. He was rich in music, he was rich in compositions, in those days that could not be made into money, but he had a richness of heart. He had an integrity of heart. He had skillfulness of hands. And God said he is going to be the next king over my people, and he did become the next king. So think like David thought, think like Esther thought. She was an orphan, poor, parents dead, and they named him after the national flower of Israel, myrtle flower. Her Hebrew name was Hadassah. She was brought up by her cousin because the parents were dead, but God invested her with beauty, and she was rich in her faith, which Mordecai trained her in. Eventually, she becomes the queen of the Persian Empire. And she was, for such a time as that, God promoted her, raised her up to save her people. So from utter poverty, God made her queen because of her devotion to God. So invest in heaven. Think of riches with a different definition. My worth, my wealth, treasures I lay up in heaven. Let's teach our kids also this philosophy, being rich from heaven. That bank never fails. That currency cannot be digitized. That currency will never fail. What you have invested with God, lifetime, in every season, returning as dividends for a bright hope and a future for your kids. So Jeremiah 29:11, we remind ourselves, God says, I know the plans I have for you to prosper you and not harm you. That's a promise, no harm, to prosper you. So let's work with His plans rather than work with our plans. And I have a future and a hope for you. God bless you. I'm Dr. Lalith Mendis. I trust this would have helped you. If you need any more clips of this nature on spirituality, reason and science, please WhatsApp +94 74 211 5011. You can also download my app, Golden Nuggets, from App Store or Google. Thank you for listening. Bless you, Sarah.